How's your day? Welcome back to Science Lesson with me, Miss Rosa. Today we are going to continue our discussion in Chapter 3. Now we discuss Lesson B. In what ways are animals suited or adapted to the environment? So friends, are you ready? Let's start. To know this topic, you can open your pupils book page 61 until 67. Here I will tell you the learning goal for this topic. So you will recognize the ways animals are suited or adapted to the environment in which they live. And you will find the vocabulary in this topic such as environment, characteristic, suited, adapted, and adaptation. Okay friends, look at these two pairs of animal feet. Which pair belongs to a duck and which pair belongs to an eagle? And why do you think so? Right, this is the webbed feet. It belongs to a duck, and here the feet with sharp claws belongs to an eagle. Ducks live near or on water. Their webbed feet help them paddle in the water, while the eagles have sharp claws on their feet to catch animals for food. Their feet are a characteristic to help them survive in their habitat. So friends, different habitats have different environments. The environment is made of living things in the habitat, including air, water, temperature, light, and soil. Animals have characteristics that help them survive in their habitats. The characteristics that help an animal survive in its habitat are called adaptation. Now let's talk more about the adaptation. The first one, as we know, camels live in the desert. It's very dry and sandy, so there is a little water and food there. In what ways are camels adapted to live in the desert? Look at the parts of their body. The first one, its hump, stores fat that can be changed into energy. This helps it survive for months without food. And then, its nostril can be closed to block out blowing sand. Another part of their body, it has thick, bushy eyebrows and double rows of eyelashes. They protect its eyes against sunlight and blowing sand. So next, its large, padded feet prevent it from sinking into soft sand. When camels find water in the desert, they will drink a lot of water at one time. They can survive on that amount of water for weeks. Now let's continue for the second animal. Polar bears live in the Arctic, so it's very cold. Snow covers the ground, and water is usually trapped under the ice. In what ways are polar bears adapted to live in the Arctic? Right, so look at again the body parts. Its nostril can be closed to keep the water out when it swims underwater to hunt. Or the fur appears white and blends it with snow and ice. It cannot be seen easily by hunters. Another one, so it has a thick layer of fat under the skin and thick fur to keep its body warm. Its large, white feet prevent it from sinking into soft snow. And for the claws here, its sharp claws help it catch other animals for its food. The next animal is a shark. Fishes live in water such as ponds, rivers, and ocean. A shark is a fish that lives in the ocean. So in what ways here a shark adapted to moving and breathing underwater? The first one, its gills help it breathe underwater. And then the fins and tail help it swim and keep its balance in water. And it also has a streamlined body shape. This reduces water resistance to help it move fast. The next habitat. Mangrove swamps are habitats for animals such as saltwater crocodile, mudskippers, and many kinds of crabs. So during the high tide, parts of mangrove swamps are flooded with the seawater. During low tide, the muddy areas are exposed. Animals that live in the mangrove swamps are adapted to living in and out of water. The example is mudskipper. So, like the other fish, the mudskippers also have gills, fins, and streamlined body shape. So in what ways are some animals adapted to live in mangrove swamps? Look at this one. Its eyes on top of its head help it see above water and underwater. The strong muscular fins help it walk or skip on land. And it can also breathe through its skin and mouth when it is out of water. It fills the space around here, its gills, with water that is rich in dissolved air. This helps breathe out of water. So the other example of the animal live in a swamp is Fiddler Crab. So the claws help the crab to feed and catch other small animals for food. Look at the body parts here. The hard shell, eye on eye stalk, and gills inside the shell. So here, adaptation help animals in different ways. For example, adaptation help animals to get food, defend themselves, and attract mates for reproduction. The peacocks have colorful tail feathers which they display to attract mates. Look at this animal, the pufferfish and the parrot. So the pufferfish puff themselves up to look bigger to scare off their enemies. And the parrots have strong, curved beaks to crack open hard nuts. There are two types of adaptation here. First, structural, and the second one is behavioral. Structural means adaptation on the body, a physical characteristic that an organism has to survive in its environment. For example, the butterflies have camouflage, so the natural color. And for behavioral, the way animals behave, something an organism does to help it survive its environment. The example, how the bears here hibernate. So friends, this is the end of our lesson. So let's recap what have you learned for this topic. So animals are suited or adapted to the environment of their habitat. The characteristics here that help an animal survive, we call it adaptation. So here the example in which animals are adapted to their environment. The first one, animals live in dry desert. For example, camels are adapted to losing as little water as possible. And the next one, animals live in the cold Arctic. The polar bear are adapted to keeping their bodies warm. And then animals live in the water. Fishes, for example, are adapted to moving in the water and breathing underwater. Last but not least, animals that live in the mangrove swamp, mudskippers, are adapted to living in and out water. So friends, is it clear for the lesson? Thank you so much for watching my explanation today. See you again for the next lesson. Bye!